what's up, guys? It is Saturday. I want to say I don't even know what the date is today. What is the date today? It is the 8th of February today. Um, so obviously a lot of people talking about Friday Night SmackDown. Now, before SmackDown started, there was some confirmation that some big names, well, not big names, but some names have been released from WWE. So, obviously, during the week, it was announced that Duke Hudson had been released by WWE back in January. Obviously, Duke Hudson had been quite a big part of NXT, a part of the Chase U faction before. Obviously, the Chase U faction was basically disbanded. And obviously Duke Hudson was released sometime last month. We don't know exactly when, but it was confirmed that he was released from WWE last month. And then obviously some more releases were announced last night before SmackDown. So the names are former NXT star Blair Davenport. She's been released by WWE. Cedric Alexander has been released by WWE. Paul Ellering and the Authors of Pain, they have been released as well by WWE. And it's also been announced that Sonya Deville's contract is expiring in a few weeks' time, and WWE will not be renewing her contract, so she will also be leaving WWE, but not for a few more weeks until her contract does expire. So I don't know what that's going to mean for Pure Fusion Collective going forward. Obviously, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, because obviously Sonya Deville, I guess, has kind of been the leader of that faction as such. And are they going to have someone else come in and obviously take over as the leader of Pure Fusion Collective, or are they just going to keep them as a duo? I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not too shocked by the release of Cedric Alexander. It feels like, a release that was inevitably going to happen at some point. The thing is with Cedric Alexander is he's one of those names that they just haven't really done anything with over the past few years. Obviously, the last time that he actually looked decent for me was when he was a part of the Hurt Business faction alongside Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley, and MVP, all of whom have now left WWE since then. And there was that chance that Cedric Alexander would go to AEW and he could join up with Bobby Lashley and with MVP as well. I'm assuming that he'll be on a 90-day non-compete clause, which will keep him out of action probably for a few months, obviously, and then once that 90-day non-compete clause is up, he will be able to sign for another promotion, whether that be Impact Wrestling, or whether that be AEW, or whether that be New Japan Pro Wrestling. Obviously, I'm a little bit pissed off about the whole, the Authors of Pain, right? I mean, obviously that means that the Final Testament faction is no more as well now. It means, as obviously that's what that was. Paul Ellering and the Authors of Pain were a part of the Final Testament faction, and obviously we have seen Harriet Cross going solo recently, so that may have been an indication that they were being released, that the Authors of Pain and Paul Ellering were being released by WWE. I mean, obviously, it feels like this is another situation where Triple H has brought wrestlers back and not done anything with them. Like, I was actually quite excited at first when it was announced that the Authors of Pain had re-signed for WWE, as I thought that Triple H was going to do something pretty decent with them. I thought he would turn them into one of the strongest tag teams in the tag team division. Obviously, they went down the direction of having them join up with Harriet Cross and become the Final Testament. And it just hasn't really worked out for them. And it's disappointing because you think, well, what was the point in them actually, in Triple H actually bringing back Paul Ellering and the Authors of Pain? It feels like there was no real point in them doing that. I mean, I said the same thing. I thought the same thing about Emma and Tegan Knox. Again, Triple H brought Emma back, didn't do anything with her and ended up releasing her. He brought back Tegan Knox, didn't do anything with Tegan Knox and ended up releasing her. It's like, what's the point in bringing wrestlers back if you're not going to do anything with them? You're just going to end up releasing them. Because that's what's happened that's what's happened yet again. Is he's brought the Authors of Pain back to WWE and he's brought Paul Ellering back to WWE, but hasn't done anything with them. All they've done is put them in a tag team, in a faction with Harry and Bloody Cross, when realistically they should have been going solo as a tag team in the tag team division, and actually, really, I think they would have looked strong. I mean, obviously I do feel sorry for these wrestlers that have lost their jobs, but the reality of the situation is, as one door closes, obviously this door has now closed, that it means that another door will open for them, and it means that they could go on to, other promotions where they'll get better opportunities, better chances, they main eventing shows and being used in the way that they should be being used. Because this is the thing with WWE, is like, when you think about names like Cedric Alexander, Blair Davenport, Authors of Pain, they were never going to be champions anytime soon. Authors of Pain didn't seem like a duo that were ever going to be tag team champions anytime soon. Blair Davenport didn't seem like she was ever going to be a major women's champion. Cedric Alexander didn't seem like anyone who would ever be who was going to be in the main event anytime soon, main event of a PLE anytime soon, or was going to actually be getting decent opportunities in WWE anytime soon. I mean, I had him in that tag team with Ashante Theodonis. To be honest, I'm surprised they've actually kept Ashante Theodonis in WWE. And they've not actually released him as well. Because again, they're not doing anything with Ashante Theodonis, really. They've just released his tag partner, and obviously, what are they going to do with him now? Because obviously, they've just released Cedric Alexander, so what do they do with Ashante Theodonis? I mean, was he even teaming up with Cedric? As I'm sure he was teaming up with Cedric, wasn't he? I think. I mean, obviously, I mean, it's the same thing with, Jinder Mahal and Baron Corbin. To be honest, I wasn't too shocked by the fact that they were released. And I thought to myself, well, them being released from WWE isn't necessarily a bad thing, because it gives them the opportunity to go on and find success in another promotion, which they inevitably will. And I think that Jinder Mahal, Baron Corbin are names that have very good chances of actually finding that success in another promotion. I don't think that they would fit in AEW, and I don't think AEW would sign them. But I think Impact Wrestling maybe. As I feel like the problem with Baron Corbin and people like Baron Corbin and Jinder Mahal, I fear that if they went to AEW, they would just be lost in the shuffle. And this is what's happened to unfortunately, what has happened to a lot of former WWE wrestlers that have gone to AEW. I mean, yeah, Jon Moxley's done okay. Obviously, Historic has done okay. Cody Rhodes did okay in AEW. Brody Lee didn't do too bad in AEW. But there have been those names from WWE that have signed to AEW and they've just completely been lost in the shuffle. And I wouldn't want that to happen for people like Jinder Mahal and Baron Corbin, who have that opportunity of finding a certain level of success. I would want them to fit in a promotion where they really shined and could really show what they can do. And I don't feel like they would really get that opportunity in AEW. I don't feel like they would really get that opportunity to show what they can do. And it's the same with people like Cedric Alexander. Again, I feel like if he went to AEW, he would just be lost in the shuffle as well. But then again, maybe they could have him, reunite with Bobby Lashley and MVP. There is one way of that is one thing one kind of thing they could do. But it's I'm sure AEW wouldn't want to turn down the chance to sign someone like Cedric. I mean, as I said, I used to love Cedric. Ow, fuck. That was my wrist. I used to love Cedric Alexander when he was on 205 Live, when he was in the Cruiserweight division, no, when he was on that Cruiserweight show for 205 Live. I thought he was really good, in that division, and I thought, him being moved up to like the proper main roster, Raw, SmackDown, I thought that was doing some good, but it's just not, it's not really worked out well for him, has it? I mean, when was the last time, that Cedric Alexander actually did anything major in WWE? As he hasn't done anything really, like, properly decent for a few years now. So it feels like him being released from WWE is one of those releases that does make sense. But then, as I said, the Authors of Pain, it's like, why did Triple H even bother to bring them back if he wasn't going to do anything with them and he was just going to end up releasing them again? And as I said, same thing with Emma and Tegan Knox. Why did he bring them back when he had no intention of actually using them and putting them in a decent way? It's like talk about disappointment. And they brought Emma back, and they had their answer with flipping Ronda Rousey's open hall for a title match. They brought Tegan Knox back, and neither of them had done anything. Neither of them did anything when Triple H brought them back. So what was the point in him bringing them back? And it's the same with the Authors of Pain. They could have done a lot better had they not been in that tag team with Harriet Cross as the Final Testament. I feel like they should have been doing more than that. They should have been in the tag team division. They should have been going for the tag team titles. They should have been, but they never, it's like, it's just ridiculous. Like, as I said, I do feel sorry for these wrestlers that have been released and have, unfortunately lost their jobs. And obviously we know that Sonya Deville hasn't left WWE yet, but will be leaving WWE in a few weeks' time when her contract does expire. We know that WWE are not going to be renewing her contract. And the thing is, it's like when Sonya Deville goes, which obviously we know she's going to be leaving, what is going to happen with Pure Fusion Collective? What direction are they going to go in with them? What direction are they going to go in with Sonya, with Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark? Like, what are they actually going to do with them? Because, it's like, what can you do with them? I just feel like, when I look at Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, I feel like they would be better as singles competitors, single stars, rather than, being a part of a tag team. It's like, it's just a crazy time, I don't know why, but I had a funny feeling that there were going to be some more WWE releases coming up at some point. Obviously, it was only a matter of time before we got our first batch of, and this is obviously the first batch of releases for 2025. Obviously, we had Duke Hudson released last month, and then we've had these names that have been released by WWE now, obviously now. So, it is crazy, but I do wish all of the wrestlers that have been released by WWE all of the very, very best for their future endeavours, for what they go on to do next. I hope that there's plenty of good moments coming their way, and plenty of good and special moments coming their way outside of WWE. And maybe one day we'll see Cedric Alexander in WWE again. Maybe one day we'll see Blair Davenport in WWE again. I do think this will be the last time we see the Authors of Pain and Paul Ellering. I don't think they'll come back again. I can't see that ever happening. Obviously, I'm sure. I bet they're probably mad about the fact they've just been released again. It's madness, really, isn't it? But yeah, good luck to them, and I wish them all the very best for their future endeavours. Who knows what they're gonna go on to do next? Who knows what's next. I mean, this is the thing, like, we don't really know at the moment, we don't really know what's next for them. There'll be a few of them that will be on like 90-day not compete clauses, so they won't be able to sign for another promotion for a while. But I'm sure that when they do sign for another promotion, they will do very, very well. And, you know, the future is looking looking very bright for them and looking very positive. You know, and yeah, it's sad that this store has closed for them, but you know, it means that a new door will open for them, and a new door that potentially lead them to a lot of success. And you know, I'm sure that they will actually go on to achieve more success than they ever achieved in WWE. You know, I think that they'll be used better. They'll achieve more success out, away from WWE. And I'm sure, and I think that, that them kind of being released from WWE, I think it really gives them a good opportunity to really prove themselves and really prove what they can do and show people what they can really do and show people, what they can achieve away from WWE in another promotion. And I'm sure when the time comes and they're able to sign for another promotion, they'll do well. But yeah, it's sad that their time with WWE has come to an end, and that door is now closed. But it means that a new door is opening for them, and a new door that could potentially lead them to an exciting future. And could lead them to greater success. So good luck to them, and I wish them all the very, very best for all their future endeavours, for all of their future endeavours. And I'm sure that we'll see what happens. We'll see what's next for them. I guess we just have to watch this space. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you for another one soon. Bye bye.